Hello again, Uncle Mike here. Would you like to read a book with me? Today we're going to read Circus Fever by Alva Sachs. Alva Sachs was one of the authors that I met at the book fair that I attended earlier this year. I put a link to that video at the end of this video. She was so excited when I told her about my YouTube channel and gave me a bunch of books for me to read to you. I interviewed Alva and I'll be posting that pretty soon. Jessica has a big imagination and an even bigger love for clowns. The circus is coming to her town and she can't wait to go. Come along and share Jessica's adventure under the big top. Let's go! Circus Fever by Alva Sachs, illustrated by Patricia Krebs. Dream big, Alva Sachs. Look, she autographed it for me. This new chapter in my life is dedicated to Paul, my loving husband and Prince Charming. Aw, Alva, you're so sweet. Oh, look at Jessica go. Back and forth. Jessica pedaled her bright blue bicycle as fast as she could. She could see her house as she rounded the corner. Her backpack was in her basket, and under her arm was tucked the daily newspaper. Oh, look at her go. Jessica didn't take time to put her bicycle away today. Instead, she ran straight to the kitchen. "Mom! Mom!" Jessica shouted. "Look at this! The circus is coming tomorrow!" Her heart beat faster and faster while she hugged the headlines. The fresh, warm smells of cotton candy and popcorn filled her head. Looks like she's pretty excited. "Slow down, honey," Mom answered. "But Mom, you don't understand. I've been dreaming about this for a whole year. I saved all my money just for this." Yes, I know, dear," Mom replied. "Now that the circus is here, we can make plans to go together, just like we did last year." "But I want to go alone this year. I'm almost 9, and I want to spend every day there." "Oh, and I suppose you would rather live there too," smiled Mom. A twinkle lit up in Jessica's eye. Her rosy cheeks on her freckled face began to glow. "Hurry and set the table. It's almost time for dinner." "Sure thing, Mom," answered Jessica as she carefully carried the dishes to the table. Jessica sat at the table with Mom and Dad. All she could think about was the circus. "Jess, are you feeling all right?" Dad asked. "You're not eating very much." "I'm fine," sighed Jessica. "But may I go to my room? I'm not very hungry." With a nod of approval from her parents, she dashed from the kitchen and ran straight to her bedroom. Daydreaming about the circus. The walls of her bedroom were covered with circus posters of all sorts. Elephants, lions, and tigers greeted Jessica the moment she entered. Painted faces smiled down at her. Each one had its own special look of delight. Oh, how she loved the clowns! Look at all the posters and toys. Jessica stretched out on her bed and glanced from poster to poster. She could hear the circus music all around her now. The next thing she knew, she was sitting in her mirror. Jessica tied her hair up with a fancy ribbon and opened a drawer filled with Mom's leftover makeup. She gathered the pretty colored cases and laid them in front of her. The powder puff tickled as she splashed it against her face. Once the dust settled, she opened her eyes. Her freckles were still there. "Oh my gosh!" she exclaimed as she leaned closer into the mirror. "Well, I guess I'll have to keep them there." She picked up a fat black pencil and drew each freckle into a perfect circle. Jessica painted an arch above each eyebrow. She picked up a shiny red tube of lipstick and turned it on its bottom, but nothing happened. The tube was empty. "Oh no," she heard herself say. "There's no more red, and that's all I need to finish." What do you think she's gonna do? 5 minutes until showtime, a voice called out. She tried turning the bottom of the lipstick again. This time, up popped a fine fresh tube of red. She circled her nose over and over again until it looked 3 times its size. Jessica reached for her wig. She slipped on her flowered jacket over her suspenders. Her blue and yellow shoes stuck out under her checkered pants. A pretty purple flower sprang out from the brim of her hat. She pulled the cord on the flower just to make sure it was ready for the show. Making her way towards the open tent, Jessica glanced at herself in the mirror once more. "How perfectly divine I look," she thought, and winked at herself. All 3 rings were busy with acts of wonder and amazement. Tigers jumped from stool to stool at the crack of a whip. Elephant trunks were high in the air, turning, twisting, and bowing with grace. Oohs, ahs, and screams of delight poured from the audience. Without a net below them, the trapeze artists swung to and fro. Their glistening costumes floated through the air. The elephants retreated, and on came the clowns. They were running, skipping, and tripping over each other. Wow, there's a lot going on in that circus. Jessica crawled inside a tiny house and screamed out a window. It was a cry for help. Suddenly, the flames surrounded her house. Oh no! A siren rang in the distance, and along came the circus fire truck. The clowns pulled and tugged at the hoses, but no water would come out. Uh-oh! The clowns placed a ladder against the window. Jessica slid down the ladder and landed safely on the ground. Phew! The clowns danced and stumbled about, trying to put out the roaring fire. Jessica glared at the fire. She lifted her arms to the air for silence. A hush fell over the crowd. All eyes were on this tiny, adorable, freckle-faced clown. Jessica tilted her head and pulled the cord of the flower on her hat. Water squirted everywhere. The fire was out in a flash. She saved the day. Thunderous applause rocked the tent. Jessica bowed, and the clowns dragged her from the ring. Thank you, Jessica sang out. Jessica, honey, it's time to go to sleep now, Mom said gently. Remember, we are going to see the circus tomorrow. She's in mid-bow. Jessica looked up at Mom's smiling eyes. I know, Mom, and I can't wait to go back. The wink to us. The end. What a great book! What did you think? Little Jessica absolutely loves the circus. You could tell by her bedroom just how much she loves it. It was when she sat at her mirror that things began to change. She started to put on makeup to look like a clown. But then her lipstick was empty. So right then, that's when her imagination took over. She heard that famous curtain call, 5 minutes until showtime, and the lipstick magically was full again. With her imagination, she came up with a full costume and even the whole circus. It had tigers and elephants and trapeze artists and jugglers and fire twirlers and dancers and ultimately the clowns. It's pretty awesome to see her imagination fully at work. What are some of the things that you daydream about? Let me know in the comments below. By combining your imagination and books, you too can go on all kinds of adventures. Well, that's it for today. I'll see you all next time, but for now, I'm going to join Jessica and go back to the circus. And you could go back to the circus too by clicking on the links below to get your own copy of this book. Alright, this is Uncle Mike. Bye!